on a massive alien capital world, filled with light, floating towers and powerful alien races. Humans are newcomers to the Galactic Alliance. They are seen as weak, quiet and lucky to even be there. The alien princess, Princess Zyra, is admired by all races. She is intelligent, beautiful and feared. Yet one thing deeply bothers her. He never looks at her. He never speaks unless required. When she enters a room, he leaves. When she speaks to him, he answers with cold respect and distance. This confuses and angers her. Other races bow. Generals tremble. Nobles compete for her attention. But this human, he acts like she does not exist. Welcome to my channel Sci-Fi Love Story. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. No one ignored Princess Zyra. Across the shining world of Valith Prime, her name carried weight. Her presence bent rooms into silence. When she entered a hall, conversations stopped. When she spoke, even warlords listened. She was the future ruler of the Zyran Dominion, one of the strongest powers in the galaxy. And yet, there was one human who always walked away when she arrived. His name was Aaron Hale. Princess Zyra first noticed him during a diplomatic gathering inside the Grand Alliance spire. Hundreds of species filled the chamber. Colors, sounds and scents mixed in the air. Humans stood near the back, quiet and stiff, wearing simple dark uniforms. She was used to that. Humans were new, small, careful. But Aaron Hale was different. When Zyra stepped into the chamber, her presence announced by glowing banners and honor guards, Aaron turned his head away. Not quickly. Not rudely. Just deliberately. She paused mid-step. That had never happened before. Most beings stared too long, some bowed too deep, others trembled, but this human simply looked at the floor and moved farther into the crowd. Princess Zyra felt something unfamiliar tighten in her chest. Confusion. Over the following cycles, she noticed him again and again. At council meetings, he stood behind the human delegates, silent. His posture was straight but relaxed, like someone who expected danger at any moment. When Zyra spoke, he did not react. When she laughed, he did not smile. When her gaze passed over the room, his eyes were always elsewhere. It was not fear. That bothered her most. She had seen fear before many times. Fear had a smell, fear had movement, fear tried to please. Aaron Hale did none of that. He behaved as if she were a distant star, visible but not worth approaching. Princess Zyra began asking questions. Who is that human? She asked one of her aides. The aide checked her datapad. Aaron Hale, former military, strategic observer, assigned to the Alliance after the human border conflicts. Why is he here? Zyra asked. He represents humanity's long-term interests. He rarely speaks. Why? She pressed. The aide hesitated. Humans do not share much, Your Highness. That answer did not satisfy her. One cycle later, Zyra arranged a smaller meeting. Fewer nobles, fewer guards. She wanted to observe more closely. As expected, Aaron Hale was present. She entered the room. Everyone bowed. Everyone except him. He lowered his head slightly, just enough to show respect, but did not kneel, did not freeze, did not rush. Her eyes narrowed. When the meeting ended, Zyra stood near the exit on purpose. She watched as delegates passed. Many offered words of praise, others asked for favor. Then Aaron approached. At the last moment, he changed direction and exited through a side door. Princess Zyra felt heat rise in her face. She did not chase him. Not yet. That night, Zyra stood alone on her balcony, overlooking the endless lights of Valith Prime. Airships drifted silently between towers. The stars above shone calmly, unaware of her thoughts. Why would a human avoid her? Humans were fragile, their bodies weak compared to many species, their worlds fewer, their territory small. And yet something about Aaron Hale felt solid, heavy like a locked door. She disliked locked doors. The next time they met, she acted. During a formal council session, Princess Zyra addressed the room. The Alliance requires stronger cooperation, she said calmly. Therefore, I will appoint a liaison to work closely with my office. Murmurs spread. Her eyes moved to the human delegation. Aaron hailed. The room went silent. All eyes turned to him. Slowly, Aaron raised his head. For the first time, Princess Zyra saw his eyes clearly. They were not angry. They were tired. I decline, he said. Gasps filled the chamber. No one declined Princess Zyra. The council erupted in whispers. Some laughed nervously, thinking they misheard. Zyra stepped forward, her voice cold. That was not a request, human. Aaron met her gaze briefly, then looked away again. I serve humanity, he said, not royal curiosity. The insult was quiet, sharp. The council froze. Zyra felt something twist inside her, anger mixed with fascination. Then humanity will serve through you, she replied. This is an order. For a moment, Aaron said nothing. Then he nodded once. As you command, he said. But there was no surrender in his voice. From that day on, Aaron worked beside her. And still he kept his distance. He spoke only when needed. His words were precise. He offered no opinions unless asked directly. When servants brought him gifts from the palace, he refused. When nobles invited him to social gatherings, he declined. When Zyra tried to engage him in casual talk, he answered politely and briefly. She noticed things. Scars on his hands, old burns, not ceremonial, not accidental. She noticed how he positioned himself in rooms, always near exits, always with clear lines of sight. She noticed how his body tensed whenever guards laughed too loudly around humans. Once during a reception, an alien officer joked about humanity, short history and shorter patience. Laughter followed. Aaron did not laugh. His hand tightened slowly into a fist. Zyra saw it. Her curiosity became obsession. Why would someone carry such discipline, such control, and yet hide like this? She decided she would force the truth out of him. The chance came sooner than expected. During a late session, a power fluctuation shut down part of the palace. Lights dimmed, servants cleared the halls. Zyra dismissed everyone except Aaron. They stood alone in the observation chamber, a wide room of crystal walls showing the planet below. Look at me, she ordered. Aaron did not move. I said, look at me. Slowly he turned. Their eyes met fully for the first time. Princess Zyra felt her breath catch. There was something deep in his gaze, not fear, not hatred. Grief. Old, heavy, controlled. Why do you avoid me? She demanded. You treat me like a shadow, like something to be escaped. Aaron was silent. You will answer, she said. I am done being ignored. He took a slow breath. Because you remind me of something, he said. Of what? She asked sharply. Of a moment, he replied, when the galaxy decided who mattered. Zyra frowned. Explain yourself. Aaron stepped closer to the window, looking out at the city lights. Once, he said, humans stood where you stand now, surrounded by power, by promises, by councils. Zyra's voice softened slightly. I know nothing of this. That does not surprise me, Aaron said. She felt a chill. What happened? She asked. Aaron turned back to her. His voice was quiet, but every word carried weight. We asked for help, he said, and no one came. The room seemed to shrink. Help against what? Zyra asked. Aaron hesitated. Then he spoke the words that would haunt her. Against extinction. Princess Zyra stared at him. The galaxy had records of many wars, many losses. But nothing like this. You exaggerate, she said, though her voice lacked strength. Aaron shook his head slowly. Billions died, he said, worlds burned, children grew up under red skis. Silence filled the chamber. And you were there? Zyra asked. Yes. Her throat tightened. Then why survive? She asked. Why not fall like the rest? Aaron's eyes hardened. Because we learned, he said. Learned what? He looked directly at her. That hope is dangerous when it depends on others. The words hit her harder than any shout. She opened her mouth to speak, but no sound came. Aaron continued. You look at me and see a weak species, he said. I look at you and remember a choice that killed billions. Princess Zyra felt her confidence crack. She had never felt this before. Never been judged by someone she thought beneath her. The silence stretched. Finally she whispered, Is that why you avoid me? Yes, Aaron said. Because I cannot forget, he added, and you cannot remember. The lights slowly returned. Footsteps echoed in the hall beyond the chamber. Princess Zyra stood frozen. For the first time in her life, she did not know what to say. And somewhere deep inside her, a terrible thought began to grow. What if the humans were not weak at all? Princess Zyra did not sleep. She stood alone in her private chamber, staring at the glowing city below. Valith Prime looked peaceful, too peaceful. Aaron Hale's words echoed in her mind again and again. We asked for help and no one came. The galaxy had always seen itself as wise, fair, balanced. The Alliance taught that its decisions saved lives through careful distance. But what if that distance had killed a species? Zyra felt something heavy settle in her chest. Guilt. At first light, she summoned the royal archivists. I want records, she said. Human military history, all of it, before their admission to the Alliance. The archivists hesitated. Your Highness, one said carefully, many early human records are sealed, classified by mutual agreement. Unseal them, Zyra ordered. Silence. Then the archivists bowed. The truth unfolded slowly. Too slowly. Human worlds once stretched across a wide arm of the galaxy. Their colonies were young but growing. Their technology was behind but improving fast. Then the attacks began. A force with no face, no voice, no mercy. Entire systems went dark. Human fleets fought, they lost, again and again. And so they did the unthinkable. They asked. They sent envoys to the great powers, to the Zyran Dominion, to the old empires, to the Alliance Council. Help us, the record said, or we will not survive. Zyra watched the archived council footage. She saw leaders hesitate. She saw votes delayed. She heard excuses. Not our war. Not our borders. Too risky. Then the final entry played. Human request denied. Zyra turned away. Billions died after that. When she next saw Aaron Hale, she did not summon him. She went to him. He was standing in a quiet corridor near the human quarters, reading a datapad. He looked up when he sensed her presence. His posture shifted slightly, not fear, awareness. You read the records, he said. It was not a question. Yes, Zyra replied. She stood there for a long moment, unsure how to speak. I did not know, she said finally. Aaron nodded once. No one did, that made it easier. For us, she asked. For you, he corrected. The words strung, but she did not argue. Why stay, she asked. Why join the alliance that abandoned you? Aaron looked past her, down the long corridor. Because leaving would have meant forgetting, he said, and humans do not forget. The galaxy did not give them time. 3 cycles later, long-range sensors detected something impossible. A fleet emerging from deep space. Old, familiar. The same enemy. Alarms rang across Valith Prime. Emergency councils formed within hours. The Alliance was unprepared. Their fleets were spread thin, their weapons outdated. Panic followed pride. Princess Zyra sat at the center of the emergency chamber, her expression calm but her heart racing. Screens showed red markers moving closer. This threat matches ancient human war data, an analyst reported. They should not exist anymore. Aaron stood behind the human delegation. Silent. Waiting. Can we stop them? A councillor asked. No one answered. Princess Zyra turned slowly toward Aaron. What are we facing? She asked. Aaron stepped forward. The thing that finished what your inaction started, he said. The room went cold. The council argued. They shouted. They blamed one another. Finally, someone asked the question no one wanted to voice. Can the humans help us? All eyes turned to Aaron. He did not speak at once. Princess Zyra stood. Human envoy, she said softly, what would it take? Aaron looked at her. Truly looked at her. For you to listen, he said, without excuses. The council fell silent. Aaron spoke. He told them how humanity survived. How they abandoned pride. How they built deep, hidden fleets instead of shining armadas. How they trained for wars no one believed would return. We learned to prepare in silence, he said, because noise attracts abandonment. The council listened, afraid now. You have weapons, a general said, ships, soldiers. Yes, Aaron replied. Then deploy them, the general demanded. Aaron shook his head. Humanity will not fight for the alliance, he said. Outrage erupted. Princess Zyra raised her hand for silence. Then why reveal this now, she asked. Aaron met her gaze. Because extinction does not stop at borders, he said, and because you asked. She felt the weight of his words. Will you fight, she asked. Aaron took a breath. We will defend, he said, on our terms. Hours later, Princess Zyra stood with Aaron in the observation chamber again. Stars stretched endlessly beyond the glass. I owe you an apology, she said quietly. Aaron did not respond. I was taught that strength is visibility, she continued. That power must be seen. He finally spoke. And humans learned that power must survive. She nodded. Why did you really avoid me, she asked, not as a princess but as a person. Aaron's voice was softer now. Because if I let myself believe you were different, he said, and you failed like the others, I would not forgive myself. Her chest tightened. I am sorry, she said again. He studied her face. I know, he replied. The enemy fleet crossed the outer boundary. Human signals lit up across the dark. For the first time, the galaxy saw them. Not loud. Not proud. Just there. Human warships emerged from stealth across dozens of systems. Old designs mixed with terrifying efficiency. No banners, no broadcasts. The Alliance watched in silence. Princess Zyra felt awe and shame. Aaron stood beside her. You never asked for forgiveness, she said. No, he answered, we asked for survival. The first shots were fired. The enemy met something they did not expect. Resistance. Human tactics were precise, cold, merciless. They targeted command nodes, supply lines, escape routes. The enemy began to fall apart. Alliance fleets followed, inspired and terrified. Hours became minutes. Minutes became victory. When it was over, the galaxy was quiet. Again, Princess Zyra turned to Aaron. What happens now, she asked. Aaron's gaze stayed on the stars. Now, he said, humanity decides whether this galaxy is worth protecting. Her breath caught. And what will you decide? He finally looked at her. That depends, he said, on whether the galaxy remembers this time. She bowed. Not as a ruler. As someone who understood. Later alone, Princess Zyra recorded a personal log. She spoke carefully. I once wondered why a human avoided me. Now I know. He was not running from me. He was standing between the galaxy and its past mistake. End.